What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl Raina Monet, and today we are back with another video.
Walk in your trap and take over. Name another that's colder. I just bought a brand new Rover. I don't even drive no more, I got a chauffeur. Took off, man, they asking me to slow up. Getting wiser and my money getting older. I'm that bitch, I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm that bitch, and I thought that they told you.
Today we are back with another video. This is highly requested. See, y'all read the title of the video, so y'all know what this is mainly about, what I will be talking about in this video. So let's get into it. How I got into the University of Miami. Now, I'm not gonna state like,
oh, this is exactly how I got in. Like, I knew what the admissions were thinking. I knew exactly what stood out to them.
I'm not gonna say that because I don't know, honestly. What was the factor that made them say, oh yeah, we want to admit her into our school? So, disclaimer, everybody has unique stats. Everybody has different SAT scores, what they did to make them pop out. And I'm not saying that just because I did it that you're gonna get in as well. I'm saying I don't know who that was. Hope I don't sound ridiculous, but I don't know who that man is. Doesn't want to plug in. Okay. Everybody's stats are unique. I just want to make that a disclaimer that just because I did it doesn't mean that you have to have the exact same pitch perfect thing that I did. Just want to make that clear. I'm not trying to make this intro longer than it has to be, so let's just get into it. We're gonna start off first with my GPA. So I had a 4.5 GPA. I graduated salutatorian of my class, which is second. I was the second person with the highest GPA. And the thing about it is with the valedictorian, we were off by only 0.02. 0.02 I was off from him. So that was pretty cool. If you want to boost your GPA up, I would recommend taking either dual enrollment courses, AP courses. If your school offers IB, I believe, yeah, IB, take that. Take honors courses. Those all have a potential of getting you your GPA a little higher because they weigh more. One tip that I do have, oh, and throughout this video, I'm going to kind of throw like little tips in there. So tip number one that I have is that take rigorous courses so that it proves to Miami that you're able to make a smooth transition into their system. Like you can prove to them like, hey, I know how to take high rigorous courses. I'm not gonna have any problem coming in here and not messing up your guys' stats. They're definitely looking for people who like, who keeps calling? They're definitely looking for people that will build their stats rather than tear them down. Next subject is the test scores. So as far as my test scores, I got a 1360 on my SAT. I wasn't really a fan of the ACT. I'm not a big science person, but the science section was always bringing me down and I didn't like that. So instead I ended up, you know, just studying for the SAT. I actually went from a 1240, it'll be here on the screen somewhere. I had that, and then in less than a year, I was able to pull it up to a 1360, which is what I have now, and I submitted to the school. So how did I do that? Khan Academy. That's literally the biggest thing that I have to like tell people.
Oh, I want to raise my SAT score.
Or Khan Academy. But make sure that you have enough time on there. Like, don't go on Khan Academy like 2 weeks before your SAT. Have at least a good month or two ahead of your SAT because you're gonna need time to know the material, know your pre-tests, like how you do before you study. All that as factors because you need to be able to see your progress and also learn from what your mistakes. And please, 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 please do not worry too much if your SAT is not strong. And I'll get into that subject a little later into the video, but don't worry like, oh my gosh, I have a 1200, like I have an 11 something. Don't worry, I'll get into that a little later in the video. Just watch. Next up is my extracurricular activities. So I was in varsity volleyball. I was president of the NHS twice. I was vice president of my school twice. I was a varsity manager for volleyball and basketball. I founded a mentor program called Serve, Impact, and Inspire. I'm also a part of the National Society of Leadership and Success, Phi Theta Honor Society. I have 300 plus volunteer hours, and most of that is literally from like the societies that I was on. You have to have like a certain requirement for your hours. And another thing that motivated me for my service hours was Bright Futures. You have to have like, I believe, above 100 and above a 1310 to be qualified for the highest Bright Futures amount. So make sure that you're aware of that. But that is in the state of Florida, by the way. Hold on. Skirt. Wait. That is in the state of Florida. Bright Futures is a program in the state of Florida where if you get a certain amount of hours, volunteer hours of course, and a certain SAT score, 1310 was the one for me that I wanted, the highest one. Depending on what level you get money for college. One tip that I do have, so tip number 2 that I do have for your extracurriculars area, for your extracurricular area, is that you have something that is unique. Have something in there that's unique to you, or unique in a way that not everybody does it. Like if I was to just put NHS and SGA, everybody does that. Everybody does NHS, everybody does SGA, everybody does Key Club, we get it. But put something that's unique to you. For me, my unique factor was I Serve, Impact, and Inspire. I actually based my essay on this as well. It's a mentor program and also a success like leadership type of program. I would guide students to successful test scores, to making sure that they graduate, making sure that they get their AA degree, or even get just college courses altogether. So I would be there to kind of like help them and guide them. That is what was unique in my application. One thing that I did see that UM is very big on, and that is well-roundedness. You need to be very well-rounded. So not as far as you being so high in your SAT score that you forget about your community and your service hours, but yeah, they take a very holistic approach. Like I was saying earlier, if you're lacking in one area, try to build the other one up, but at the same time, don't show no effort in the other area. Show that you're making effort to put up for the area that you're lacking in. If that makes sense. Like if you have a really bad SAT score, for example, and you keep retaking it and you're retaking it and retaking it, and the school sees that, they're gonna be like, okay, at least they're trying. But if you just took the SAT like once and said, okay, I'm done, and got like a 900 and you didn't show any effort to like try to bring it up or anything, Miss Girl, at least show that you're trying, you know what I mean? Please do not get scared of my stats. I know it's a lot. I know my stats are a little outrageous as far as, first off, being a African-American girl. Please do not look at my stats and be like,
oh my god, I gotta compete with that, I gotta do this.
Like, everybody has their own unique story. Like I said, everybody has their own unique stats, and just be you. Don't fake you. I am so sorry if you hear my brother in the background. I'm over and tired of it. So next subject is my awards. I was a 2-time spring term president's recipient and 2-time fall president recipient. I also received the Dual Enrollment Achievement Award for being the first junior to graduate high school with an AA degree. And I also got the Certificate in English Award.
"2,000 years later."
Moving on. Now into the essay portion of this video. My essay that I submitted, this year was actually Miami's first year including a supplemental essay. And if you don't know what a supplemental essay is, a supplemental essay is an essay that you submit to the college, but it's just specifically for that college. They send out essay prompt. They send out like an Kane. They send out like an essay prompt for you to answer like the question. You basically respond back to them. Now that's, like I said, it's specifically for that college. So this was their first year making a supplemental essay. It was something like, something about a bird. Name a time where you went through, oh, the ibis is like the first and last, is the first to leave, I'm sorry, is the last to leave during a hurricane and the first to return back, or something like that. Name a time where you had to overcome a challenge, or something like that. Basically the essay was like, name a time you had to overcome a challenge, right? But I'm not gonna share my essay completely on this, you know, platform, because it is a little personal and I don't know if people need my business.
You're in my business? Yeah, don't do that.
It's yeah, that was the essay for UM. Some tips that I have, so I guess it's like tip number 3 or 4. Don't look at the surface of the question that they're asking you. Go deeper. For example, if they ask you, name a time that you went through a really challenging experience. They're not looking for you to explain what you went through. They're looking for you climbing out of that hole. They're looking for how did you overcome the challenge, rather than tell me about your challenge. That's what they're mainly looking for. There's always a deeper meaning behind them asking the question, because they're looking for something else. They're not looking for what they're asking. They're looking for something deeper, if that makes sense. Just make sure that you're reading the question correctly. Proofread your essays. I cannot explain and stress this enough. Proofread your essays. Get Grammarly. Invest in Grammarly. Get people to read it. I had, like, you don't know how many drafts I have of my Common App essay. My computer was overloaded. Like, I believe I had like 15 drafts. It was a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork. It was a whole lot of. Okay, so here are some tips and tricks for the admissions process. This can be geared towards if you're applying to Miami, or if you're applying to a different school. If you're applying to a different school, these are just some tips and tricks. Number 1, if you're, like I said before, if you're lacking in one area, make sure that you try to build the other up. So there's 2 main areas that I'm talking about: academics and extracurriculars. If you're lacking in extracurriculars and you don't have a lot of, you know, volunteer hours, try to at least build your academics up in some way, or at least show that you're trying to have community hours. If you're lacking in academic, as far as your SAT scores, try to show that, you know, you're helping your community out. That's why you don't have enough time to study. Wink, wink. Hope I can wink, wink, wink. Tip number 2, make sure you have great communication with your counselor. Make that counselor your best friend. She might not know, or he might not know that that's your best friend, but you make them your best friend. Talk to them. Make sure that you're in their office. Anytime you have a question,
I need the SAT waiver, I need this, I need that.
make sure you're in their face about everything. Make sure they know who you are, so if something comes up, they know, hey, I know that student, this and that. Because when it comes to the recommendation letter they have to write for you for the Common App essay, that Common App application, they don't need to be like, oh yeah, she came to my office once, boop, turn it. No, they need to know who you are.
She's well dedicated, he's well dedicated, he does this, she does that.
Just make sure that you have a communication with your guidance counselor. You have a relationship, a one-on-one relationship with them. That makes sense. Number 3, show that you have demonstrated interest into the school that you're applying to. So for example, with all the schools that I applied to, I made sure that I was on their email list. I made sure that I emailed my guidance counselors, well, advisors they call them, for either my area, or usually it goes by area. That's how it usually goes by. But I made sure I told them like a little bio about myself, and they would usually write back, you know, hi, I can't wait to, you know, review your application and da-da-da-da-da. Kind of show, because when they look up your name in the system, they want to see, oh,
she signed up for a tour? Okay, that means she's been having interest in us. Oh, she even sent an email, or he sent an email? Okay. Okay,
tip number 4. This can go for Miami, but this can also go for other schools as well. If they offer it, make sure you apply EA. There should be no reason why either Miami is like your top school and you're not applying EA. It's literally benefits with no drawbacks. The only thing that you have to do is just make sure you're on top of your stuff and turn in your stuff early. November 1st deadline. That's it. You get an earlier response. You get to even be part of scholarships. And then again, it shows demonstrated interest. get where I'm coming from. Tip number, I believe this is 4 or 5, I'm not sure. Make sure you list everything you did on your application. It will count, and I'm just gonna leave that at that. Do not wait until your senior year to try to join clubs, take your SAT, do all, like literally ACT, all that. Do not wait until your senior year to do it. Make sure you at least start in your junior, or at least some, like that should be the latest time you should be doing stuff like that, summer, because when it's time to sit there and apply, November 1st or wherever deadline you have is going to pop up quick. Sorry, my camera went off, but we're back. Next tip, make sure you make connections with your teachers. You're gonna need recommendation letters to turn into these schools. Make communications, make connections, make sure you have a relationship with them so they won't have to write,
Oh yeah, this student was so good, this, that, and that.
no. They need to be like,
This student was the one student I loved so much.
do not have the teacher run down kind of like your resume, I guess you could say, because then it's gonna be like,
Oh yeah, what they did was they just sent over their resume with a request to be able to have them write a recommendation letter.
no, don't do that. Your recommendation letter needs to show that you did more than the average student. Like I'm gonna read a couple of mine. Okay, so like say for example, these are both from my teachers. One from a teacher that I knew from 6th grade to now, and one that I knew from my 9th grade to now. So I'm gonna read my 6th grade one first.
To whom it may concern, I am writing this letter of recommendation with such pride. There are a few students that you meet that you can say makes you a better teacher/person, and this student is one of them. I had the honor and privilege of meeting Sarah Fleming when she was in my advanced math class in 6th grade. She was such a pleasure to have in class because she's always worked hard for everything she earned. I can honestly say that I never heard her complain, which was rare for a 6th grader. In addition, her classmates looked up to her as she truly was a natural leader. I also had the opportunity to see her continue growing into the junior senior high, and it is no surprise that she has exceeded all expectations I could possibly have had for this amazing young lady. She has balanced high school, dual enrollment, National Honor Society, Arts Charter School vice president, and many other extracurricular activities with such grace. She will successfully be successful wherever she decides to attend university, but your university would be blessed to have her positive presence in your campus, on your campus.
So that's 1. 2, I'll read the second one.
I had the privilege of having Sarah Fleming in my world history class as a freshman. She continually did outstanding work in class and was known to help other students that were struggling. She was always polite to me as an instructor and her fellow classmates. I was impressed with her ability to get the work done ahead of time. When she finished her history classwork, she would work on another class project or help one of her neighbors. She was a leader in discussions.
It was not afraid to give her opinion on class topics. I sure wasn't.
She helped to make the class more interesting by her participation. I understand that she was also taking college courses as a freshman in high school. I have been teaching at a high school level for 24 years, and I have rarely seen that accomplishment. I would certainly recommend Ms. Fleming for any university, as she would be a great asset to your organization that she chooses to join.
So those are the recommendation letters that I turned in to the university. And yeah, you see how they didn't really list like my resume, but more of who I am and what impact I made into their lives or impact I made into their classrooms. Colleges will know that you sent your resume over if they do that. Back to the tip where I told about not joining clubs and stuff your last year. One thing that I did learn that admissions counselors look for is consistency. Are you going to show consistency within our school? Are you going to show it within a club you join or whatever? With you joining a club your last year, it shows very much I'm just trying to impress the counselors right now at this moment, but don't expect me to join any of these when I go to your college. Don't do that. Show consistency, and when I say show consistency, it's meaning at least be in the club for 2 years. That's what I mean by show consistency. So my last tip that I have, go to the college that makes you feel most comfortable. I mean, go wherever the money resides. Just make sure that you go wherever the money resides and that you feel comfortable. Don't stress. Admissions process can be very stressful, and it got to me at one point. It's just a whole lot of during those months. It is emotionally, like physically draining. It is draining, and I had to go through a really tough time during that, dealing with like relationships and family and all that stuff. It was just like, it was all during that time of admission and getting into the, you know, college and all that, and it was I don't really use this word a lot, but it was stressful. It was a lot, but make sure that you make it fun. You know, you have everything organized. If you want to see my reaction to getting into the University of Miami or my scholarship consideration, make sure that you click the link in the description down below, because I will be linking it down below. My last section of this video is going to be people I recommend, especially, you know, African American girls. There's not a lot of African American girls that film on YouTube about the University of Miami, but you know what, I'm going to name a few jewels that I found and that I'm happy that I found, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know, you know, the life of a king. So here are a few women that go to the University of Miami that you definitely should watch. So we first have these three phenomenal ladies named KRVTV.
Hey y'all, welcome back to KRVTV Season 2. I'm Shada Kristen. I'm Kylie Renee.
And I'm Jamie Victoria.
Another one is Treasure.
What's up guys, it's your girl Treasure, and today I am leaving to go to college. I am moving in tomorrow. I'm going to the University of Miami in Coral Gables, Florida, 15 minutes away from downtown.
She was the first girl that I watched to actually have a move-in vlog. Another one is Shanti. Very informative as far as, you know, the social aspect of Miami and also the experience that she went through. You know, I'm not gonna say that Miami is peaches and cream, because it's not. There are some incidents that, you know, happen, and you know, a lot of experiences could happen down there, you never know. So that's what she was really shining the light on a little bit. Another one that I had that was very, very detailed with everything is Yvonne Yabalonga. So that is about the end of this video. I am so glad you stuck to the end. If you did, give it a like, comment, and make sure that you subscribe. We'll definitely be seeing a move-in vlog, a dorm haul, a dorm tour, life in Miami, a week in my life. You'll be seeing all that from me down in the 305. But I am very happy. I am excited to move. Like, if I could show out, okay, I'm not sure if it's gonna do it, but like you can even see, like, I got all my stuff. It's only the beginning, it's almost the beginning of July, and I'm already ready. Like, I'm already, I don't have, like, just, I cannot wait for this dorm haul. It's gonna be right here too. Right here, and I'm just gonna be showing everything, you know, what I got, dorm colors, and just a whole lot of, you know. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm really happy about that. The next video that you guys are gonna see is my how I graduated early with my 80 degree video. So you'll be seeing me in the same clothing, same everything, because who has time to film 2 videos in 2 separate occasions? Not I. So if you see me in the next video with the same clothes on, that's the reason why. So yeah, that's the end. Love you guys. Make sure to smash that like button. Peace out.
Walk in your trap and take over. Name another that's colder. I just bought a brand new Rover. I don't even drive no more, I got a chauffeur. Took off, man, they asking me to slow up. Getting wiser and my money getting older.